My dance was freedom, their badges were chains, one subway ride, two power-tripping cops, and a crowd ready to explode. Guess who ended up the star of a viral showdown? Spoiler. It wasn't them. All right, let me set the stage for you. My name's Marcus. Yeah, just Marcus. No middle name, no fancy surname that makes you sound like royalty. I'm 27, and my life's one big mixtape of beats, chaos, and a whole lot of sweat. Born and raised in Brooklyn, I've spent more time dodging trouble than most people spend on their phones. And trust me, in this city, that's saying something. Brooklyn's not the kind of place that just lets you live your life. Nah, it demands a show. The kind where every day feels like you're on stage, dodging the tomatoes folks are ready to throw at you. My mom, Joan, a walking saint with a two-job hustle, did her best to keep us afloat. Dad? Let's just say he ghosted before ghosting was even a thing. Left me, Mom, and my little sister Amber to figure it out. Spoiler, we didn't have much to work with. Growing up, the streets taught me everything. Not the how to win friends and influence people kind of lessons. More like don't flinch when a car backfires and keep your head down when cops roll by kind of education. My real salvation? Dance. Yeah, that's right. Breakdancing. While other kids were out trying to make it as wannabe rappers or hustlers, I was spinning on cardboard, perfecting my windmills. It wasn't just a hobby, it was therapy. You think you've had a bad day? Try flipping yourself upside down until the world feels right again. Works like a charm. Fast forward to today. It's just another weekday in the city that never shuts up. I grab my beat-up boombox, the kind that looks like it came straight out of an 80s movie, and head to the subway. Now, if you've never ridden the New York City subway, congrats on missing out on humanity's most unpredictable petri dish. For me, though, it's my stage. The grimy floors, the flickering lights, the faint smell of hot dogs and regret. It's all part of the ambiance. So there I am, standing in this semi-crowded subway car. A couple of college kids are arguing over some app, an older woman's clutching her purse like it's made of gold, and a dude in a suit looks like he's rehearsing how to fire someone. Perfect audience. I set down my box, crank up Run DMC's It's Like That, and let the music take over. The first move, a simple head spin, always gets their attention. Then, bam. I'm into the floor freezes and footwork. The crowd starts reacting. A college kid pulls out his phone. An old guy nods along like he's reliving his youth. Even the purse-clutching lady loosens her grip. Yo, man, you've got some serious moves, one of the kids shouts. He throws $1 into my tip jar. I nod in thanks, not breaking the flow. I'm mid-spin when the doors open and two cops walk in. And not just any cops. These guys look like they eat breakfast off a checklist of things they hate. Big guy's got a neck thicker than a fire hydrant, and the skinny one's rocking a permanent scowl, like someone just stole his lunch. They step in, and the energy shifts. You know that feeling when someone's about to kill the vibe? Multiply that by 10. I keep dancing, hoping they'll just ride on through. Nope. What's this circus act? Fire hydrant neck says, loud enough for everyone to hear. I pause, straightening up, my chest heaving from the effort. Just dancing, officer. Entertaining people. He sneers. Entertaining? Looks like you're blocking the damn aisle. Nah, man, I say, keeping my voice calm. I'm not blocking anything. People are watching, having a good time. Skinny Scowl steps forward now. You got a permit for this little show? A permit? For what? Spinning on my head? No, sir, I don't, I reply, my patience starting to fray. But I'm not causing trouble. The crowd's quiet, watching this play out like it's a scene from a movie. The college kid with the phone, still recording. Good, let the world see this. You're disturbing the peace, Fire Hydrant Neck growls, stepping closer. His hand hovers near his belt. Pack it up or we'll handle it. Disturbing the peace? For real? I glance at the audience. Some of them look nervous now, like they don't want to get involved. Others, though, their eyes say it all. This ain't right. I take a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. I'm just dancing, officer. Not hurting anyone. He steps even closer, his presence looming like a storm cloud. Last chance, kid. Kid, that word. Like I'm some punk who doesn't belong here. Like I'm not a grown man just trying to survive. My fists clench, but I let them hang by my sides. All right, I say, swallowing my pride. I'll pack it up. As I bend to turn off the music, I feel their eyes on me. This ain't over, not by a long shot, but for now I play along. So, there I was, shoving my boombox into my bag, hands steady even though my insides were doing backflips, like I was still mid-dance. The train stopped, doors opened, and I stepped onto the platform. But surprise, surprise, guess who followed? Fire Hydrant Neck and Skinny Scowl like two bad sequels to a movie no one wanted. The platform was buzzing with the usual chaos, people rushing, kids screaming, the smell of pretzels and the subway grime in the air. Yet somehow all of that faded into background noise because my brain was on high alert. You ever feel like a target's painted on your back? That was me, standing there, waiting for the next move. "Hey, stop right there!" Fire Hydrant Neck barked, his voice cutting through the noise like a chainsaw. I froze mid-step and turned, hands out to show I wasn't about to pull anything. "What now, officer?" I packed up like you asked. "ID, now," Skinny Scowl demanded, stepping closer with that whole I'm-in-charge swagger. "For what? Dancing without a permit?" I asked, trying to keep the sarcasm in check but failing miserably. Didn't know popping and locking was a crime. The smirk I threw his way didn't land well. Fire Hydrant Neck moved in, his bulk practically blocking out the dim, flickering platform lights. "You got a smart mouth, huh?" he said, towering over me. "Let's see how smart you are in cuffs." Cuffs? Over what? Breathing too loudly? My pulse shot up, but I forced myself to stay calm. Losing it wasn't an option. Not here, not with all these people around. "Look," I said, voice steady but firm. "I've got no problem showing you ID, but you gotta tell me what I did wrong first. That's how it works, right?" Skinny Scowl let out a dry laugh, the kind that sends chills down your spine. "Oh, you want a civics lesson now? Fine. Disturbing the peace, obstructing public space, resisting orders. Should I keep going?" "Resisting orders? Dude, I literally did what you said," I shot back, frustration bubbling up. Packed up my stuff, stepped off the train, didn't even say shit. Sorry, didn't even say anything rude. The crowd on the platform started paying attention now. A few people slowed their pace, glancing over while pretending not to. A young guy in a hoodie pulled out his phone, holding it low, but obviously recording. Good, let them see this. "You're not the one asking questions here," Fire Hydrant Neck said, his hand inching toward the cuffs on his belt. "Now, last time, ID." "All right," I thought. "Play it cool. You don't want to end up on the ground. Not today." I pulled my wallet out of my pocket, slow enough to show I wasn't making any sudden moves. I handed over my ID, trying not to let my hands shake. "Marcus Brooks," Fire Hydrant Neck read out loud, like he was announcing me to an imaginary audience. 27, no priors. Huh, surprising. "Yeah, shocking, right?" I said, sarcasm dripping from my words. "A black man with no record. Crazy world we live in." Skinny Scowl snorted, clearly unimpressed. "Watch your tone, Brooks." "My tone? Oh, okay. Let me adjust it for you," I snapped. "Thank you so much, officer, for ruining my day over absolutely nothing. Better?" His jaw tightened. I was walking a fine line, but at this point I was too pissed to care. As they handed back my ID, the tension hit a new level. They didn't move. Didn't leave. Just stood there, staring like they were waiting for me to do something wrong. That's when I realized they weren't done. Not by a long shot. "So what now? You just gonna stand here breathing down my neck all day?" I asked, crossing my arms. "Actually," Fire Hydrant Neck started. But before he could finish, a voice from the crowd cut in. "Hey, leave the guy alone." I turned to see a woman in her 50s holding a reusable grocery bag like it was a shield. Her face was set with determination, the kind that says she's seen enough bullshit in her life and isn't about to back down. "He's not doing anything wrong," she said, stepping closer. "I saw the whole thing. He was just dancing, entertaining people." "You need to mind your business, ma'am," Skinny Scowl shot back, his tone ice cold. "My business? Watching you two harass someone for no reason?" "Yeah, that's my business," she fired back, her voice growing louder. The platform buzzed with whispers now, people slowing down to watch. More phones appeared, cameras pointed in our direction. Fire Hydrant Neck's jaw tightened, and for a split second I saw doubt flicker in his eyes. He knew this wasn't going to play out well if it went viral. Still, he doubled down. "He's obstructing public space, and we're following protocol." "Protocol?" the woman scoffed. "Is that what you call bullying now?" I couldn't help it. A smirk tugged at the corner of my mouth. "She's got a point, officer. Maybe you should write her a citation for caring too much." The crowd chuckled, and Fire Hydrant Neck's face turned an impressive shade of red. He stepped closer, so close I could see the sweat forming on his temple. "You think this is funny?" he growled. "Not as funny as you, big guy," I shot back, the sarcasm rolling off my tongue. "But hey, at least I'm entertaining." The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife, but I wasn't about to back down. Not now. Not with half the platform watching, recording, waiting to see how this would end. All right, so there I was, standing on the platform, watching this mess unfold. The tension? Man, it was thicker than the greasy smell of Subway pizza. Phones were out, people were recording, and I was stuck in the middle, trying not to make the next headline. Fire Hydrant Neck wasn't backing down. He leaned in closer, his breath reeking of coffee and bad decisions. You think this is some kind of game, Brooks? One wrong move and you're spending the night in a cell. Dude, what the hell is your problem? I shot back, my voice low but firm. You're the one making this a circus. Skinny Scowl stepped up now, his hand resting on his belt. You're resisting orders. That's enough to take you in. Resisting? Seriously? I handed you my ID, packed my stuff, and now I'm just standing here while you two flex your power trip. My voice was louder now, and the crowd was eating it up. Leave him alone, yelled someone from the back. It was the guy with the hoodie who'd been recording earlier. He stepped forward, holding his phone high. We all see what you're doing. Fire Hydrant Neck snapped his gaze to the guy. Back off, kid, unless you want to join him. The crowd started murmuring, and the energy shifted. People weren't just watching now. They were pissed. The older woman with the grocery bag crossed her arms and yelled, You can't just arrest someone for nothing. We've all been watching. You're interfering with an investigation, Skinny Scowl barked, his voice rising over the chatter. Investigation? I laughed, throwing my hands up. What, you investigating my dance moves now? Good luck with that. The tension hit a breaking point. Fire Hydrant Neck grabbed my arm, yanking me toward him. That's it. Hands behind your back. You're under arrest. The crowd exploded. People were shouting, phones were aimed right at us, and the guy in the hoodie stepped even closer. I got this all on video, he shouted. Let him go, screamed another voice, and suddenly it felt like the whole platform was on my side. Even I was a little shocked. That's when she showed up. A woman in her 20s with a sleek camera slung over her shoulder. A journalist, judging by her confident stride and laser-focused stare. She stepped right into the chaos, her voice calm but commanding. This is all being recorded, she announced, raising her camera. Every word, every move. Are you sure you want to keep going? Fire Hydrant. Neck froze. Skinny Scowl hesitated, his eyes darting to the growing crowd. They knew they were in trouble. The power trip wasn't working anymore. You're making a mistake, Fire Hydrant Neck muttered, letting go of my arm. His tone had lost some of its bite, replaced by something that almost sounded like fear. I dusted off my sleeve, staring him down. Yeah, well, next time, maybe don't mess with someone who knows how to spin under pressure. The crowd erupted in applause and laughter. For the first time all day, I felt like I'd won something. But deep down, I knew this wasn't over. Not yet. The grip on my arm was tight, like Fire Hydrant Neck thought I might suddenly sprout wings and fly away. The crowd? Oh, they weren't having it. People started shouting louder. Phones were up, and the energy was pure chaos. I could feel the pressure building, like a dam about to break. Yo, let him go, someone yelled, their voice sharp over the subway noise. Is this really necessary? Another voice chimed in, closer now. And then there was the journalist. She stepped right into the storm, her camera steady and aimed directly at the cops. This is all being documented, she said, her voice slicing through the chaos like a blade. Do you want this on the evening news? Fire Hydrant. Neck hesitated for the first time. His hand froze, his grip loosening just a bit. Skinny Scowl? He looked like a deer caught in headlights, scanning the growing crowd. Phones were pointed at them from every angle, capturing every second. You're obstructing justice, Fire Hydrant Neck said, but even he didn't sound convinced anymore. Justice? I laughed, my voice dripping with sarcasm. What's next? Charging me for breathing too loud? The crowd roared at that, and for a second I felt like a damn superhero. The older woman with the grocery bag stepped forward, her face full of righteous fury. You can't just treat people like this. We all saw what happened. The cops looked at each other, the tension between them as thick as the subway air. They were outnumbered, outrecorded, and definitely outsmarted. Fire Hydrant Neck finally let go of my arm, his face red with frustration. This isn't over, he muttered, low enough for only me to hear. Yeah, well, neither am I shot back, glaring right at him. As the cops backed off, the crowd erupted into applause. The journalist lowered her camera and gave me a small nod like she knew exactly what she'd just done. You okay? She asked, her tone softer now. I nodded, trying to catch my breath. Yeah, thanks for stepping in. Don't thank me, she said, slinging her camera over her shoulder. Just make sure this story gets out. And oh, it did. By the time I got home, the videos were already going viral. My face, my dance moves, and those two cops were plastered all over the internet. People were calling for accountability, for justice. It was surreal, but for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was about everyone who's ever been stopped, questioned, or treated like less just because of who they are. My stage wasn't just the subway anymore. It was the whole damn city.